Have you ever pondered the chilling question, what happens to the human body when it's exposed to the lethal levels of radiation from a nuclear bomb? It's a daunting thought, but understanding the mechanics of this phenomenon can be equally fascinating and essential. Radiation poisoning, often termed as acute radiation syndrome or radiation sickness, is not a disease that one catches like a common cold. It's a direct result of absorbing large doses of ionizing radiation into the body. Imagine invisible bullets penetrating your body, disrupting the very building blocks of life, your cells. Radiation interferes with the normal functioning of cells. It specifically targets rapidly dividing cells, such as those in the digestive tract, bone marrow, and hair follicles. The ionizing radiation damages the DNA within these cells, hampering their ability to divide and function properly. This disruption can lead to a chain of events, each more severe than the last. The initial stage, known as the prodromal stage, may begin within minutes to days after exposure, presenting symptoms similar to a nasty bout of flu. Nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea are common. This stage may last for a few hours to several days. If the exposure is severe enough, the person then enters the latent stage. During this period, the individual might feel well, a deceptive calm before the storm, but inside their cells are struggling, fighting the damage inflicted by the radiation. The final stage is the manifest illness stage. The symptoms here depend on the specific syndrome and may involve the gastrointestinal tract, the central nervous system, and other parts of the body. The damage to the bone marrow can lead to a weakened immune system, making the individual susceptible to infections. In extreme cases, death may occur within days to weeks, but it's not just about the immediate aftermath. Long-term effects of radiation exposure can lead to an increased risk of various forms of cancer, particularly leukemia and thyroid cancer. But remember, knowledge is power. Understanding radiation poisoning underscores the importance of nuclear safety and the grave implications of its misuse. To summarize, radiation poisoning occurs when the body absorbs large doses of ionizing radiation, which damages the DNA within cells, particularly those that divide rapidly. The symptoms can range from flu-like discomfort to severe illnesses, depending on the severity of the exposure. The long-term effects can also include an increased risk of various cancers. It's a grim topic, but one that sheds light on the sheer power of the atomic world and the importance of handling it with utmost care. The hope is that such knowledge contributes to a future where nuclear power is harnessed for the betterment of humanity, not its destruction. Radiation poisoning can have severe effects, but there are steps you can take to protect yourself. The first is limiting exposure. The less time you spend near the source of radiation, the less radiation you will receive. Secondly, increasing distance. The further you are from the source of radiation, the less radiation you will receive. Thirdly, using shielding. Barriers of lead, concrete, or water can provide protection from penetrating radiation. Lastly, preventing contamination. Using personal protective equipment can prevent harmful exposure. Remember, the key to safety is preparedness. Stay informed, stay safe.